Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm your host, Dr. Haider Shah. On behalf of Calvas, I would like to welcome all of you to this webinar. Thank you very much for joining us. Today we have another very interesting topic, and I'm really honored to welcome and introduce our distinguished guest speaker who is going to talk about the role of artificial intelligence. In today's rapidly evolving technological landscape, AI stands at the forefront, shaping industries, revolutionizing the businesses, and redefining how we interact with the world. So, in this webinar, we will explore the profound impact of AI, its current applications, and the limitless potential it holds for the future. So, indeed, a very interesting topic. I'm sure you will learn a lot from this session because we have an expert with us in today's this session. So, before we start, I would like to thank Kalwas for arranging such enlightenment sessions for their support and providing us such a wonderful platform. The aim of Kalwas is to give you the opportunity to connect and interact with world renowned speakers, academic leaders, teachers, authors, researchers, experts, professionals, and businessmen to learn from their experiences, recommendations, and suggestions which will create an impact and will enable you to learn and develop yourself in order to grow and transform individually, as well as to contribute to the world at large. As our slogan is come, learn, and share knowledge. So today we have an amazing person as guest. We have invited him for multiple times, and he is kind enough that he always there for us to share his knowledge with our audience from around the globe. So let me introduce him formally. He is a graduate of Doctorate in Public Administration from Urdanita City University class of 2016 and graduate of second doctorate PhD degree in the development education at the Central Luzon State University Philippines class of 2022. After obtaining his doctorate degree, he was promoted and designated to the position of Assistant Director, Extension Coordinator, and Associate Professor 5 of the Department of Research and Development, and along with that, his extension in the Philippine Merchant Marine Academy, and his give him an opportunity to work with different international research institutions such as director of IKSAD Research Institute Malaysia, lecturer in the graduate school Columban College, uh, and at President Ramon Magsaysay State University Zambales. Along with that, he was also appointed as the editor in chief of the International Journal of Multidisciplinary Applied Business and Education Research, Indonesia. Apart from that, he is also a researcher by heart. He is external peer reviewer in various international prestigious journals, has been invited as a keynote resource speaker at various international conferences abroad at international universities around the globe. His name, he was named an outstanding alumnus of the Graduate School of Urdanita City University in 2019 and a multi-awarded international researcher and global leader from 2020 to the present. Recently, he was appointed as the ambassador at large, country ambassador, and a director of for the International Human Rights Movement Philippines under the umbrella of the United Nations. So at present, he is appointed as a technical research evaluator by the Department of Science and Technology and has published more than 82 research articles and published 12 international books in Europe, Indonesia, and India. Last but not the least, he's a wonderful speaker, author, teacher, researcher, professional, and above everything, a great human being. So please help me in welcoming our guest, Professor Dr. FROILAN MOBO. Welcome to the Calvas platform once again, and thank you very much for joining us, Prof.
Welcome and thank you, sir, and good morning from the Philippines and Mabuhay.
Thank you so much for accepting once again our invitation. And gentle reminder to the audience that if you have any question, you can write in comment section or you can email us at info@calvas.com. We will have question and answer session at the end of this. So over to you, Prof. Thank you.
Okay, so good morning, guys. So my task for today is supposed to discuss about the role of artificial intelligence, and I think we are all aware of the importance of the AI nowadays, especially in the age of digitalization. So part of it, uh, on this discussion, no, we have to define what is an AI is all about, or artificial intelligence. No? So the idea and creation of computer system that can carry out tasks that, of course, ordinarily need human intelligence, or referred to as artificial intelligence in other words, or it entails successfully transferring to machine some of the skills we typically associate with people. So AI means that is empowering a particular machine learning, human learning, transforming that into an automated devices. So we know that nowadays it is really being done, and it is highly revolutionized because a lot of industry are doing that. So the role of the artificial intelligence plays a vital role because of the significant functions in the industry, and its role play in the, not only in the education sector but in all aspects. That's why artificial intelligence plays a major role. And part of it, on the artificial intelligence, what and how may AI be utilized for? Of course, from a functional standpoint, AI has been utilized to complete tasks and to solve predetermined issues in industrial or practical context. For example, basic example is the chat GPT. As we all know, guys, nowadays, a lot of websites are been utilizing chat GPT because of the purpose of, you can ask query, and the chat GPT can respond immediately. It can give task to specific answer. For example, if you want to ask something about a query on a particular problem, it will give you a complete, uh, precise answer using chat GPT. So that's one uh, good point that a lot of developer is doing that on the part of the artificial intelligence. But that is one advantage on how we can use artificial intelligence in terms of machine learning, and in terms of using, of course, natural language processing. So it's very important that we use this technology in a, of course, in a very good manner. And part of it, of course, the advantages of using artificial intelligence, of course, there's an end-to-end efficiency wherein it can reduce friction and enhances resources and analytics used across many organizations. So, for example, nowadays we are using the Industry 4.0 or Education 4.0. So, from using those things, or for example, Internet of Things, by automating a lot of devices from remote places, it's easy for us to anticipate many things. It can also automate complicated procedures and save downtime. That's one of the advantages and benefits that the artificial intelligence can gain us. So it can help us do those things, especially during the pandemic. The role of the artificial intelligence really plays a lot because of doing things like automations and many things. And then part of it, we have, it can give accurate and decision making because it can combines human intelligence and powerful analytics, and it can have a pattern prediction tools to enhance other decisions accuracy and originality in terms, for example, in terms of security. You can enhance your, for example, your password enhancement in terms of uh, in, encryption or voice recognition. It can help us gain those powerful analytics, which can be part of the pattern recognition, which is, I think, not only in the mobile devices but in other security measured places. You can also use those type of uh, AI generated machine learning tools. And then part of it, uh, intelligence solutions can help us deliver new products, services, channels, and business models with a level of speed and quality that was previously conceivable, since machines think differently from humans and can think, identify market gaps and possible more quickly, because using devices or machine learning, it can help us to ease up common problems. For example, by using Internet of Things, we can directly remotely, for example, manipulate a particular device. If you are not within the area, from a remote place to another, you can manipulate it, or you can simulate activities, for example, using augmented reality, virtual reality. So those technology transformation can do a lot of things, for example, in terms of enhancement of doing business models with a level of speed and quality, and then it can give an accurate, of course, transformational changes in terms of intelligent solutions, of course. And then part of that is the employee empowerment. Of course, AI can handle routine jobs to other workforce on a higher value. Of course, a lot of sector right now are using AI machineries. For example, in one factory, they can use an automations, robotics. They can use a programmable software that can generate everything. They can automate it, and then fundamentally, it can alter many work, and it can give accurate information. So by using particular handheld devices, you can control it everything. And as we all know, those are the technology which is really going on. By promoting the success of all workers, it might unleash, of course, a lot of potential talent with, of course, with a lot of benefits that we can gain. Of course, uh, artificial intelligence we can gain a lot of things from them. Used from uh, using robotics, for instance, or programmable things, we can easily use that not only in the industry sector, but of course in the education sector. And uh, many things can also be done. For example, your car can be embedded with an AI applications by using a voice recognition based saying something, for example, by a word, you can open it and it will open something like that. So those are the highly advanced technology that we are doing, uh, that the industry are doing right now. And then the applications of the artificial intelligence, of course, in the industry. So the applications of the artificial intelligence in the industry has a countless number of uses. So a lot of companies and sectors uses the technology because it is being tested and deployed in the not only in the healthcare sector but in the other sectoral areas, and they would prefer to recommend, of course, that as part of their activities. For example, in the healthcare sector, they tend to recommend that for medicine dosage, find treatments, and support surgical procedures in the operating room, for example, using augmented reality and virtual reality, and they can give an accurate response in real-time response. So using artificial intelligence applications, it plays a major role in this industry. So if you have seen a movie regarding artificial intelligence, for sure, in the next future generation, a lot of applications will be deployed in advanced way. And then part of it, of course, other instances of AI machines will include, for example, uh, self-driving automobiles, of course, not only automobiles, of course, as I've heard also in the shipping industry, they are now into the uh, shipping vessel that can be maneuvered with using an automated system. So each of the systems must be considered that effects of every decision that they make because it has an effect of an outcome. So it has a system that calculate all external and take into consideration. That's why the applications of artificial intelligence plays a major role, of course, not only of course in one particular sector, but in in other sectoral areas also. So generally, it speaks in one language that can help us, of course, in our daily life. So we have a lot. We have types of AI. Of course, we have weak artificial intelligence or slow artificial intelligence, which is represented by a system that is built to do a single task. Example, video games like the chess example for above, and personalities like Apple Siri and Amazon's Alexa are examples of weak or AI systems. This systems responds to your quick action by providing an answer. And another, of course, is a uh, systems with supporting strong artificial intelligence that can do tasks that are thought to be human-like. For example, like uh, a particular device that can be programmed and uh, that to deal with circumstances when problem solving may be necessary without human intervention. So these kinds of technology are used in applications like self-driving automobiles and operating rooms in medical facilities. Could you imagine? We always seen this in movie, but right now we can see this in a real time scenario in our real life. So this a new age of technology can help us, of course, in applying this in other sectoral areas. For example, in the field of medicine, in education, we can use this for the simulation of activities in laboratories and other things that it might help. Just like in our institutions in PMMA, we are now using augmented and virtual reality, which is also part of the artificial intelligence because we are using the software to help simulate practical laboratories. So that is one way that we are using those smart technology tools. Then another, how is AI being used? Of course, varied degrees of sophistication. AI is currently used widely in all applications. So, popular AI applications include, of course, recommendation of algorithms to suggest things that you might like next, and chat bots. Okay, like what I mentioned a while ago, like Siri and of course Chat GPT, because these things can automate tasks like voice recognitions. It make predictions about the weather and the economy. So if you have noticed, for example, in your gadgets, in your smart devices, you will be able to uh, explore these features, okay? Like a voice recognition applications, which can be utilized to understand natural language. Of course, it can do single tasking when you do in an instruction. So this kind of technology plays a major role. So as we go along the way, if the if the government will also use this technology, and I think other sectoral areas are using nowadays. Now, of course, we have the private groups that are using this. I think uh, government are using this part by part because it can really help things to make things easily for them. And then, of course, during that time, it was being mentioned that in late 2022, that was last year, uh, a lot of applications, for example, just like Chat GPT tool, which was being made available, and millions of new users were added each in the month of this year. So popularly, uh, ChatGPT is being more popularized as part of a website or in application that you can use this as part of responses to a number of inquiries. And then, so these are the summary of positive and negative impact of AI on various sustainable development goals. If you have noticed, based on the figure that I've shown on the screen, we will be able to distinguish that on the part of the uh, figure A and figure B, you will be able to see that there is a response of 79% and 35%. So which means that uh, this evidence that the A has the ability to either aid or hinder the achievement of all tasks which is being associated it. And of course, the percentage in the inner circle of the figure represent the proportions within each SDG. So, which means that the outside circle Of course, the picture also displays the result of the three major grouping, which are society, economy, and environment. So the other one is shaded region in the bars and brackets that displays the outcome and evidence taking into account. So you have noticed that AI plays a major role, of course, which is also aligned in every sectoral areas. Of course, not only in the 17 SDGs. So a while ago, I also mentioned that we can also use the AI applications in cybersecurity because people now share more information in doing business. Of course, by the using of the online transactions, a lot of industries are taking use of digitizations. So companies are feeling increased pressure to keep data secure because of possible of high risk of data breaching or hacking. So, however, the development of course, of such thing as cloud computing, IoT, and can be can use a possible applications that can secure all transactions. For example, by developing a particular systems that can secure the businesses. For example, creating a firewall that can increase the security of all transaction in the business. That is to avoid from cyber attacks. And then part of it in terms of the in health care sector, experts assert that artificial intelligence and robotics are reshaping the healthcare environment because they is the most uh, disruptive technology in the field. This statement highlights all technologies that is applied in the healthcare industry because it can accelerate clinical trials for effective drug discovery, and it can forecast the efficacy of vaccines or any other simulations in order to assist stop and spread of future pandemics such as COVID-19. So this technology really plays a major role, not only of course in education, but also in other sectoral areas. And of course, part of that, AI also plays a major role in autonomous vehicles. Just like what I mentioned, it can also do it can automate for example, car, automobile, or even shipping vessel. Nowadays, a lot of industry sector are thinking on how they can expand upon existing mission domains and may even create a brand new ones. Okay, or further arguing that they can do other programming things that can help to complex the task which is being done in one particular device. And of course, its impact on everyday life. Of course, once we've switched on our devices, we instantly plug into this artificial intelligence functionality, such as, for example, as we all know, we have the Face ID or image recognition. We use emails and a lot of apps, social media, Google search, digital voice assistants like Apple Siri and Amazon's Alexa. We also do online banking, driving aids, for example, Google Maps, weathers, anything, shopping apps, or leisure downtime. So these things really made an impact on our everyday life. So AI plays a major role, of course, in our uh, task day to day because it can ease up the situation, it can ease up all the transaction. In the future for artificial intelligence, of course, it will be used more frequently, of course, in not only in healthcare, education, but which is already processed significantly in other fields. But in the future, it can aid, of course, disease diagnosed if it can be explored, and then the creation of individualized treatment regimens and enhancement of patient outcomes may be studied very well. And then part of it, in terms of education, AI is also becoming increasingly significant because in the education sector, it can revolutionize education by enabling personalized learning and greatly enhance student performance. For example, by creating simulation model, for example, using particle learning management system that are capable of incorporating that or embedding that to particular AI or VR machines or robotic or automated machines that can help the students to gain more advanced knowledge regarding that particular discussions. And then part of it, it can increase automation, of course, in all manufacturing processes because AI technology is currently being used to automate a number of manufacturing at present, and this trend is anticipated to continue and intensify in the coming years because of using this kind of technology. And for future developments in autonomous vehicles, it will bring about substantial advancement in this area. For example, in the maritime sector, of course, in other sectoral areas, it can really help us uh, to do the transaction more easier and more real-time processing because we have now a lot of development. We have the industrial revolution. We have the Internet of Things. We have, of course, the Education 4.0 and 5.0. So those technology enhancement is being, of course, done using artificial intelligence technology. And then part of it, machine learning advances, as previously indicated, machine learning is at the heart of AI technology. And future developments in this area are expected to be significant because it can also be linked to other sectoral areas that can be used and can be uh, maximized in other areas also. And then, of course, natural language processing, which as I mentioned a while ago, this is the area of AI that deals with interpretation operation a language, for example, voice recognition, or for example, the chat GPT. So when you do, just like a good example is when you ask a particular uh, query, it will respond to you. So those are kind of application which is being done. And so in conclusions, of course, the role of the artificial intelligence, if we're going to assess this, it helps our industry to become more prepared in the age of digitization, just like what happened during the time of pandemic. Of course, without the aid of the technology, we would not be able to recover easily because this technology platform, artificial intelligence, can help us uh, make our sectoral areas more easier to uh, engage in every transaction. For example, we can digitize the government, we can digitize every transaction, we can connect everything, we can use an Internet of Things to control many uh, business establishment. By using those kind of technology, you would be able to live with the 21st century, of course. So it is really, we are really lucky because we have this kind of technology that can help us to shape our future, of course. So I think that would be all on my part, sir. So thank you for that. And good afternoon once again.
Thank you very much, Prof. What a nice session it was. I like the way you started it from the definition itself that what is AI and then the different types of AI. And I love the part you just gave example of that what is the weak AI and the strong AI and how it is going to be shaped in the future as well. I like the way you mentioned its impact on everyday life and very nicely you have interrelated and connected to the SDGs that how SDGs they are impacting the different 17 goals of it and even the percentage of it, the positive and negative impact of it. That was a very interesting and I would say it was a evidence backed argument. And I believe that these kind of things we need to be very careful and very nicely you have talked about that how different industries are being impacted by the artificial intelligence right from the education, healthcare, even the game industry. You just mentioned the chess game that is being played by the artificial intelligence and the computer and machines. So definitely all these things are going to impact us, and how we are going to prepare for it. That's very interesting. So thank you very much. And now certain question requires your explanation and clarification as well. So please, let me start with the first question. The first question we want to ask regarding the what are the ethical considerations? Let me show the question that what ethical considerations are important when developing and deploying AI systems? Yes, please.
Of course, the ethical considerations that we need to consider when we develop and deploy AI systems, for example, using Chat GPT, we have to consider that when we develop an application, we have to consider that it must be used, of course, in a particular specific purpose. For example, if the application is being used for this purpose, it has an advantage, but it has also a disadvantage. So we have to consider that we have to use those applications, of course, in a right manner. For example, we can use that for inquiry, but more than that, it is part of an ethical way that we can use that in other uh, meaningful ways. For example, asking unrelated questions using, for example, in ChatGPT. So those are things that we can consider in for ethical consideration. So those are important ruling that we need to consider when developing and deploying AI systems. For example, ChatGPT, which is very familiar nowadays.
Yes, thank you very much for such a wonderful answer. And I think the Chat GPT itself is the another progressive work of the artificial intelligence, and new companies and new softwares are being developed, and soon they will be online for the people to use it. But again, every now and then we have a progress in the these artificial intelligence, because a lot of research is being carried out on the artificial intelligence nowadays, because it's very important for our decision making, particularly in business context. So thank you. And now another question is very interesting one. That question is related to what challenges and limitation does AI face today, and how might these be overcome in the future? Yes, please.
Of course, challenges which is being encountered in the AI right now, sir. For example, the challenges that we will be able to encounter is if the facilities are not really prepared for this. For example, in terms of in the education sector, here in the here in our country, in the Philippines, there are some rural areas right now that are not really prepared for the uh, uh, implementation of AI. For example, if there is a tool which is being developed that can be run part of that. So those are the challenges that we are facing right now. Of course, the facilities. So part of that, I think the role of the government may be to support, to help the rural areas to, of course, to make things be prepared for those for the use of those AI technologies in the future.
Wow, very nice answer to this question. Thank you very much. And we have taken this questions from out of various questions which you have already addressed in your wonderful presentation. Thank you very much. And you know that at the end of the session, we ask our each guest regarding their message to the world. So, what is your message to the world as a speaker, author, teacher, researcher, trainer, learner, and educator this time? Your message. Yes, please.
Uh, okay. So my message is, it is really important to advocate this kind of technology, but there's a sometimes a limitations on this. So I think what we can do first is to explore the importance of using this technology. And later, we would be able to benefit on this. So I think we have to use this wisely. For example, using technology for doing research. So we have to use this wisely, part of it, and then we can explore many things. So I think part of it, we need to do a lot of research to learn more things. So I think that would be also.
Wow, wonderful message you have given to the world, and that speaks for itself. Thank you very much once again, and to the audience, that please do follow our distinguished guest speaker through his research work, and you can email him for future learning and guidance. He's very generous and always ready to help the people. Moreover, wonderful explanation and powerful content which the great speaker has already elaborated will help you to learn and develop your understanding regarding the artificial intelligence and its impact on our lives. So that's all we have time for today. And thank you once again, Professor Dr. FROILAN MOBO, for your wonderful time and sharing wonderful stuff with us. And I would like to thank our audience who joined us. If you have any additional questions about the information shared today, please email us or connect to the speaker directly through his email or social media account. Thank you all for your support and liking our session. Stay tuned as many sessions are on the way. Please do not miss any session until next session. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.